And we are back. Welcome back to the Nations League Predictions Series. It is time for my first round of predictions for match day 4. This is going to be covering all of Sunday's matches in the Nations League. If you want to see all of my predictions for today's matches, Friday's matches, the link to that video will be available for you at the top of your screen right now. And right next to it, we'll also tell you exactly how I'm feeling right now after last night's absolute misery and disappointment with the England versus Greece game. My reaction video is also available for you at the top of your screen right now. And whether you're on either of those videos or on this one, don't forget to drop a like on every single one of them. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well so you don't miss out on any of the predictions or reactions we have got coming up for you over the next few days. Like I say, this video will cover all of Sunday's matches. We will then have tomorrow's video covering all of Monday's matches. And then, of course, Sunday's video covering all of Tuesday's matches. So once again, you will have all of my predictions available for you before a ball is even kicked on match day 4. So make sure you are subscribed and with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of the predictions we have got coming up for you. And let's have a look at how we got on last night, because it wasn't great. There were 10 matches that took place last night. We were only able to get 5 out of 10 in terms of results. So we still managed to hold the 50%, but I would have expected a little bit better. There were certainly some upsets last night, in my opinion. So I'm not too disappointed, although the number doesn't look great. But we did get one correct score last night. That was the Moldova versus Andorra game. That was a 2-0 victory for Moldova, which we perfectly got spot on. So not the worst of nights, not the best of nights, but because all of these teams that are playing on Sunday played last night, we've got those results fresh in our minds, ready to make some predictions for today. And without any further ado, let's get straight into it. We've only got matches from Leagues D, C and B today. The teams that played in League A last night, their matches have been moved to Monday for some reason. But here we go then. It is match day 4, the first opportunity for sides to really make a claim for promotion and relegation. And we'll start off, as always, with League D. And we'll start off with Group 1 with the match between Liechtenstein and Gibraltar. Now, last night, it was only Gibraltar that played because there's only 3 teams in each of the League D groups. And Gibraltar were able to get the win over San Marino as predicted. I went for 2-0. It ended up being 1-0. In the reverse fixture in Gibraltar, Liechtenstein were actually able to get a 2-2 draw, which was a real upset at the time. But they've gone and backed it up by beating Hong Kong 1-0 in a friendly last night as well. So going into this now, Liechtenstein are arguably the side with more momentum. Yes, obviously they did lose to San Marino and Gibraltar beat San Marino. But getting that 2-2 draw away, having now to play Gibraltar at home, you've got to give them a little bit more of a chance. My expectation would still be that Gibraltar do get the result. However, I'm going to show Liechtenstein the respect they deserve, and I'm going to give them a 1-1 draw. I was tempted to go for 1-0 Liechtenstein, but I still think Gibraltar are the strongest side in this group. They should be the side that come away with the promotion at the end of it, but I'm just going to go for a 1-1 draw in this one. The other group in League D is, of course, Group 2, and this game is between Malta and Moldova. As we've just spoken about, we accurately predicted Moldova to get the 2-0 win over Andorra last time out. Last night, should I say. Malta didn't actually play a friendly, so they're coming into this one completely raw. They've not played a match since they last played. They both beat Andorra, so that is worth considering, but it was Moldova who got the win in match day 1. That was also a 2-0 victory. So far it's 2-0 victories for Moldova in this group. I'm going to back them to get the result again here. I'm not going to go for a third 2-0 though. I'm only going to go for a 1-0 as they are now away from home. But realistically, Moldova should be cleaning up this group by getting the result here. That then brings us on to League C, and it is Group 4 taking place in League C. And this is where we had our first sort of major upset, I would say, last night, with the Faroe Islands actually managing to get a result against Armenia, a fantastic result for them. And it means that there's a lot more pressure on this match between Armenia and North Macedonia. Now, last night, it was North Macedonia who got the victory. They were able to win 3-0. And as we've just spoken about, Armenia drew 2-2 with the Faroe Islands, getting a last-minute equaliser as well. They almost lost. In match day 2, North Macedonia won this match 2-0. So, a lot of pressure on Armenia, like I said. They've lost to North Macedonia already. They've drawn with the Faroe Islands last night. So, they're going to have to get a result here. But, in my opinion, this is North Macedonia's game to lose. I would still say they are the stronger side going into it. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to North Macedonia, with them taking the double over Armenia. But I would definitely say this one is one to be careful of, because on their day, Armenia can perform. But from what we saw last night, they're not quite on it at the moment. Speaking of the team that they did get the draw against, that is Faroe Islands taking on Latvia in the other game in this group. And they were seconds away from their first competitive win in 4 years, where the Faroe Islands last night, like I say, it was a 93rd minute equaliser from Armenia to deny them their first victory in a competitive setting for a very, very long time. But what is worth noting, especially going into this one, is that they've played both Armenia and North Macedonia at home now and have not lost either. 0-0 with Macedonia, 2-2 with Armenia. However, it's also worth noting that despite Latvia losing quite heavily to both Armenia and Macedonia respectively, they did beat Faroe Islands in the reverse fixture 1-0 in match day 2. So again, pressure on both of these sides. One of them is more than likely to get relegated from the position that they're currently in. Faroe Islands are on 2 points, Latvia are on 3 points. So realistically, this is the decider as to which of these teams is going to go down. And as I've just spoken about, Faroe Islands at home have produced the goods already in this Nations League. Latvia have been very poor away from home so far. So with that said, I'm going to give the Faroe Islands their first competitive win in 4 years. And I'm going to go for another 2-1 victory, which will make this group very, very interesting going into match days 5 and 6 as to who will eventually end up going down. We shall see. On to League B Group 2, which means that once again we must talk about England, who will be travelling to Finland off the back of losing at home to Greece last night. Finland, of course, played at home last night themselves, and like England, lost 2-1. So both of these sides go into this game off the back of a rather miserable 2-1 home defeat. And the question just really is, can Lee Carsley's side turn around the performance that we saw last night? Because we've already beaten Finland in match day 2. We won pretty comfortably. It was 2-0. And even though we weren't at our absolute best that night, obviously Harry Kane, 100th cap, 2 goals. He was brilliant. It looks like he's probably still going to be missing for this one. But again, I stand by what I said before the Greece game. We should be winning this game. But if we play like we did last night, we genuinely might not. So I'm going to err on the side of caution. I'm obviously still going to back England to get the result, because England should definitely be beating Finland, whether it's at Wembley or at Finland. But I'm only going to go for 2-0. Again, it's what it was at Wembley. I almost went for 2-1, but I still think realistically Finland shouldn't be scoring. And I'm hoping that after what we saw last night, Carsley's going to be a little bit more defensive-minded and not be so gung-ho. But we'll see. That's his mindset. It's how he approached the under-21s by playing 7 midfielders then. So maybe we will leave ourselves a little bit more vulnerable than we really should. But I would still expect, with the quality we've got available to us, that England should be winning this one comfortably. And speaking of winning comfortably, let's be honest, the scoreline was 2-1 last night. But it was very, very comfortable for Greece, and it could have been a hell of a lot more. Obviously, as well, if you talk about Greece against Ireland, match day 2, it was a 2-0 victory for Greece in Dublin. So, I mean, I know Ireland got the result last night against Finland, a great result for them. It was an 88th minute winner from Robbie Brady. They'll be out for revenge, and trust me, as an England fan, I want Ireland to get a result here, because we need to turn over the gap we've got to Greece to get back promoted to League A. But if Greece play the way they've played in their opening 3 fixtures, they are going to beat Ireland very, very easily. And I'm going to go for 3-1. Greece do still look vulnerable defensively. Ireland are very good going forward. And I think they are going to still cause some problems. But with the home support and the ability they've shown already in this tournament, I think Greece will take this one pretty comfortably, like I've already said. So I think 3-1 is about fair. And then the final group to discuss for Sunday is League B Group 3. And we kick things off here with Kazakhstan taking on Slovenia. Now, last night, that was one of the ones that I got massively wrong. I said about how good Slovenia have been defensively, especially away from home. And how would Norway be able to cope without Odegaard to feed Haaland? Well, Haaland turned up, didn't he? And it was a very, very good 3-0 win for Norway, which means it was not a very good night for Slovenia. And it also wasn't a very good night for Kazakhstan either. They were on the receiving end of a 4-0 drumming from Austria as well. In match day 2, it was a 3-0 win for Slovenia, with Benjamin Šeško scoring a hat-trick. But it is worth noting that when Kazakhstan last played at home, they were playing against Norway, the side that just put 3 past Slovenia, and Kazakhstan were able to hold Norway to a 0-0 draw at home. So bear that one in mind. They're going to be a bit more solid, especially when they are at home. But I just think with that psychological aspect of Šeško scoring a hat-trick for Slovenia against them last time, I just think that Slovenia are again going to be the side that come out on top here. I'm not going to go for as many as it was last time because Kazakhstan are at home. I'm going to go for 2-0 to Slovenia. Realistically, I don't really see Kazakhstan getting a goal against them. And then finally, probably what's going to be the most entertaining match of the night, it is Austria taking on Norway. And like I just said, Austria last night winning 4-0. Norway last night winning 3-0. It was 2-1 to Norway in match day 2. But both of these sides are going to be full of confidence going into this one. Norway are obviously top of the group with that victory. They currently sit on 7, whereas Austria are on 4. A win for Norway here would pretty much all but seal their spot at the top of the table. So it's going to take a real performance from Slovenia to overturn that gap, or from Austria to overturn that gap, to stop Norway getting promotion to League A with a result here. But it is within Austria's hands to stop them. Austria are the home side. Like I said, they won 4-0 to Norway's 3-0 last night. And like I said, I just think this is going to be a really entertaining game. I do believe all 3 results are very possible here. But with Austria being the home side, I'm just going to edge it in their favour. I'm going to go for 3-2. We'll see what happens. I genuinely do believe this could be one of those scorelines, like I always say, get the dice, roll it twice, and that could realistically be the scoreline. You could be seeing 4-1s and 3-2s and all sorts of results in this one. This is one that I would be steering clear on and just say this game is going to have goals. But I'm going for Austria. I'm going for 3-2. And that is going to be it for the predictions for Sunday. As always, let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know how you're feeling if you're a supporter of any of these teams after last night's games. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. I'll be back tomorrow morning for the next round of predictions covering all of the games taking place on Monday. I'll see you there.